This is Sarah van Schagen. I'm here with Van Jones of Green for All. Tell me what this organization is all about.
Well, Green for All is a national organization, and we're working for what we call green-collar jobs, which are good-paying, family-supporting jobs in the solar industry, wind industry, green construction, organic food, water conservation, all the good stuff. So the good family-supporting jobs in those industries, we're working to get those for disadvantaged people. People who might be low-income people, maybe people of color, people who may be having barriers to employment, like formerly incarcerated or English as a second language. We want to make sure that we build a green economy that's an inclusive economy, that's strong enough to lift millions of people out of poverty. We want to fight pollution and poverty at the same time. We call it social uplift environmentalism. So using our ecological solutions to also solve our social problems.
And you guys have a National Day of Action coming up. Tell me about that.
Well, on September 27th, for the first time ever, there's going to be a National Day of Action called Green Jobs Now. And the idea is that people in communities, I think about 500 communities all across the country, 48 states, will be standing up at the same time saying, we're ready for green jobs. We're ready for the future. We're not clinging fingers and toes to the last century's pollution-based economy that didn't do anything but give us cancer, asthma, no jobs. I'm talking about low-income people, people of color, people on reservations, all across the country standing up and saying we want green jobs. And also saying, we have an energy crisis now. The number one resource for America, for the United States, is not oil, it's people. And there are people all across the country who don't have work or are underemployed. Let's connect the people who most need work to the work that most needs to be done. We got to weatherize, solarize, retrofit, reboot, repower America. That's thousands of contracts, millions of jobs, billions of dollars of economic stimulus to create a clean energy future for this country. And so we're saying, hey, we're ready to go. And we can't drill and burn our way out of our problems in the United States. We cannot drill and burn our way out, but we can invent and invest our way out. That's the solution. And if you add another I, include, invent, invest, and include, that's the Green for All agenda. There are a lot of sacrifice zones for this pollution-based economy. Our view is that those communities that were locked out of the benefits of the pollution-based economy should be locked into the benefits of the clean and green economy. Those communities that were pushed down in the pollution-based economy should be lifted up in the clean and green economy. Majora Carter, who's a great environmental leader, always says you should green the ghetto first. Let's make sure we get the solar panels and the organic food and all the healthy stuff to the places that are suffering. And that way you'll be fighting pollution and poverty at the same time. So we're here in Oakland because Oakland's a proud town. It's got a lot of amazing, great people, a lot of positive stuff that never gets in the newspaper, also a lot of problems. We want to make Oakland a green-collar mecca, so that it used to be such a blue-collar powerhouse.
So people watch the news, they're looking at the financial situation, the economy is not doing well. How is the green economy going to fare in this sort of financial situation that we're in?
Yeah, well, I mean, the good thing about the green economy is that it provides, a piece of the answer to this whole meltdown that we're having right now. We need an economy that's based less on borrowing and more on building. We have an economy now that is characterized by consumption, debt, and environmental destruction. We need an economy that's based on production, thrift, and environmental restoration. That's the economy that we need to move to. And we're going to spend all these billions of dollars to apparently take on all the bad loans from these companies. Let these financial institutions keep the good loans. Taxpayers are going to take on all the bad loans. I don't know how that works out as a fair deal. But if we're going to do all that to bail out bankers, we should also bail out the planet and bail out poor people. And you can do that through creating green-collar jobs. Now, there are a lot of ways to finance the massive creation of green-collar jobs. You can do it with federal loans, you can do it with loan guarantees, you can do it with revolving loan funds. For instance, we have a proposal for something called the Clean Energy Corps. The way it would work is the federal government would put a big pot of money on the table. It would be a revolving loan fund. And cities would be able to tap into those dollars and begin to weatherize and solarize. Well, that would then save cities a ton of money. and then there'll be a way to capture those savings and pay those loans back within 3 to 5 years. So it's revenue neutral at the end of the day, and yet in a revenue neutral way over a 5-year period, revenue neutral, you create a ton of jobs. You create a ton of jobs. You would improve the value of people's homes. You would bring down people's energy bills. You would bring down the amount of carbon. You would also bring down everybody's energy bills, because if you weatherize enough buildings, aggregate demand for energy goes down, all prices for energy go down. And so you could do well by homeowners, you could do well by workers, you could do well by the planet. These are the kinds of innovative solutions that we think need to come forward now to begin to put people back to work. Let's start building things. Let's have an economy based on building, not borrowing, producing, not consuming. And our view is that the green economy is a big part of the answer. It's not the only answer, but it's a big part of the answer. And we have to be willing to invest. Just because we blew a bunch of money on dumb stuff doesn't mean we shouldn't invest good money on good stuff that will pay itself off over the long term. You could put Detroit back to work, not making SUVs, but just making the wind turbines, just making that critical, life-saving, planet-saving technology. So, if you want to talk about a full employment program, the closest thing you'll ever have, and again, led by the private sector. We're not talking about the government writing checks to everybody, but the markets work based on rules. Right now, the rules are wacky. If you try to do a clean energy, a holistic, organic company, you're going to get punished, because your competitor who's using dirty energy is going to be able to do it more cheaply. Your competitor who's using cheap, nasty, toxic stuff is going to be able to do it more cheaply. So the rules right now favor the problem makers, punish the problem solvers. So we want to get the government and the government's rules on the side of the problem solvers in the U.S. economy. That's the organic folks, that's our solar entrepreneurs, our wind entrepreneurs, all the people who are trying to do things the right way. Once you move the rules so that the subsidies and the tax breaks and all that kind of stuff favor the right industries, they take off on their own. Then you want to make sure they hire on a fair basis and include people who might be left out. But there's a way out of this. So we're excited. We got the book coming out, The Green Collar Economy. You can order it and get my numbers up on Amazon or wherever you want to buy it from. We got the Day of Action. You can go to greenjobsnow.com and you can take part. We're working with Al Gore's organization, the We Campaign, very important organization. They're partnering with us on this. And also One Sky, which is a very important climate solutions coalition that's been fighting for green jobs as well. They're a part of it. So that's September 27th, day after the first presidential debate. We're going to be raising our own issues about a green economy. And people who want more information and who want to get plugged in, they can go to greenforall.org. Green for all, no numerals, all letters. Greenforall.org, and get involved. Sign up. We believe that we're going to build a green movement, help birth a green movement that's every color of the rainbow, every class, every faith, and that movement will help to turn the United States from being the world leader in pollution to the world leader in solutions.